This is Hot Mike.
Hot Mike.
On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 on this Friday morning, ready to rock and roll. Our thanks to Corey Provis for joining us each and every Friday. Really gets the show kick-started with we talk some Twins baseball as they get set to take on the Texas Rangers. One of the many sporting events happening over the next couple of days, also being affected by the weather. One of my favorite events is the North Dakota State Track Meet, which got underway yesterday at the Bowl in Bismarck. They were supposed to be already underway by this time, but with the weather, everything's been pushed back to at least a 1 o'clock start for day 2 of competition, with everything set to wrap tomorrow. But the weather doesn't look like it's going to cooperate that much. Our resident meteorologist from Beach, North Dakota, joins us this morning, the head track coach and football coach of the Beach Buccaneers, one of our favorite guests. Mike Zier joins us, and we were visiting. Eric put up the tweet, my producer, that the hotel you're staying at, no hot water, or you got a hard edge this morning? What's going on?
Well, there's a little update on that, Dom. Apparently my boys, I just brought boys this year, no girls qualified, and apparently I got a bunch of guys who never went a day without a shower. And but the update is after breakfast that if they run the water long enough, then it's good enough for them to shower. And I'm like, I told them they could just take a bar of soap and go outside and they'd be fine. But I guess I'll try it tonight after I come back in from the rain and the wind.
It's great to see you. I know how highly you think of this event and where it ranks for you on your favorites. What can you tell us about weather and what can happen today?
So it's pretty miserable here in Bismarck. I mean, looking out my window in my motel room, and with the wind and the rain and stuff, and if it gets pushed back. Now for my Buccaneers, Dom, we got kind of a neat schedule. We run the last event on Friday and the last event on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Plus we have the last field event on Saturday as well. I got a triple jumper. So what we're going to, like here about 11, we're going to go get some chow, come back to the room, maybe watch some Star Wars or something. And then we can just head over around 5-ish or so. And then the other thing that's cool is because they have the live updates, my kids and their cell phones can keep track of kind of where we're at with the meet. And then we can just kind of stagger that. But those schools like the Class A schools and some of those bigger schools that have a lot of kids, oofta, it's going to be a long day for them.
Do you think if it gets bad enough, would they postpone today? I mean, then what do you do? I mean, then we were talking off air, then you got to do everything tomorrow, which doesn't sound great.
Yeah, I mean, really the only thing they could do then is if they postpone stuff to Saturday would be just run a regular track meet like the beach booster meet. And no one wants to do that. Although we do a good job with our boosters.
I know you do.
But no one wants to, you would just roll it. But I don't even know if logistically you could do that as far as all the field events and everything. And then you look at the Class A part of the meet, a lot of kids qualified in the 100 and 4x1 and stuff. So those are going to take some time. But I don't know what else you could do. I mean, I guess you could push it back to the evening and try and knock off some stuff tonight, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
You could go under the lights. You could do that, right? That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, you could, unless pole vault was outside the stadium, and then they're pole vaulting in the dark. They'd probably get maybe they could drive some cars around it and stuff. And
that's true 9-man thinking on your part. I appreciate that. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be pretty fun.
I don't know if you were at it yesterday. We just showed a quick piece of video of Kindred's Riley Sunram winning the shot put. Were you witnessing that yesterday?
So we were going to, but we had an appointment at Red Lobster that was more important.
Good call.
We were there for again, we didn't have anything yesterday. So we had the parade of athletes and it was kind of windy and cold and stuff. So no, I didn't make it over there. And was looking forward to seeing that, but it just didn't work out.
So I want to tell us the story, the shot put story of one Landon Leckler and Jack Plankers. You remember that from the state meet? Gosh, now I feel old. Was this 10 years ago? 11 years ago now?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and it was kind of like both were committed to the Bison, and both had really good careers with the Bison, and then they would just kept going back and forth, keep pushing each other and what they were going to do. And it was just a good time to see those guys. And Jack was really good in track, by the way.
Yes.
He was a little bit better than Landon. And don't tell Landon I said that. He's on the school board now, Dom. So we got to be careful. We have to be careful what we say about Landon. Okay?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was really a good time.
You have 6 athletes there. Is that a good amount? Is that high? Where does that rank for you for this year for sending out a beach?
Well, I tell you, last year we had the goose egg. First time in 23 years that I didn't come to the state track meet with an athlete. So I kind of just sat depressed on my couch. I didn't even come. And this year, my kids, the relay team, and then my triple jumper, really worked really hard, and we actually qualified both of them by time, the 2 relays, and then my triple jumper gave me a heart attack. It was the last jump. Lucas Brown's his name. It was the last jump of finals. He was like in 4th, and then he jumped in, and I don't know. It was kind of bad because I thought, geez, there's another $50 at Red Lobster, but I was like happy. I was happy that he made it, and yeah, it's I'd say it's a little bit above average, but kind of average, if you get a relay or 2.
You already answered my next question, what you just said about where you rank this event in personally, the disappointment of last year. That tells it all about where you rank the state track meet and how big it is for you personally.
Yeah, to me, I think it's the best event. I know that, the Dakota Bowl is a special place. I really enjoy that, but what's cool about this event, there's lots of things, but I can sit there and watch these Class A kids that I've never seen, and then I can watch our kids compete against, like I think Hillsborough's in our heat and things like that, and we never see them at a track meet, right? They're not, and they don't see us, so it's up there high.
So today, give us a sense. I was visiting with Rory Beal about this, the Davies coach yesterday, who's got 100 kids there. You have 6. How do you time this out? Do you know exactly where you need to be and you can see everybody compete?
Yeah, I mean, and normally we would just, since we run so late, we'd probably get there around noon or 1, so the kids aren't out, in the elements and stuff for too long. But today, if it stays this bad, we're just going to go 2 hours or hour and a half before our event, and then we're going to compete. Yeah. The problem you get into is, we can't we did shields yesterday. We can't do a lot of that stuff because I don't want them on their feet, Right. I don't want them on their legs. So we're kind of cooped up in our hotel room, and, there's heat and we're dry and apparently semi-warm water. So things are, they're not that bad for us.
Things are trending up. Things are trending in the right direction there.
Exactly.
So,
right.
So I don't know if you saw this. You were put on high alert by Mayville State head football coach Rocky Larson on Wednesday when he was on the show, saying that you're going to host the team when they come out west. You're buying dinner. I don't know if you heard that. You want to respond to that?
Yeah. Well, I told him, I said, hey, you could, if you're going to Billings or Butte or whatever, you can stop in Beach for a walkthrough, and then I would probably even feed them. Now, what he left out is I didn't say anything about rental fees for the facility. And rental fees may cover the price of the meal. But no, I don't even, you know what, Dom? I don't even know the frontier schools, if any of them have grass or not. A lot of these schools have turf.
Okay.
Well, I know in the old North Star, they all had turf.
Yes.
And so I think I'll have to find out. So if they're playing a grass team, then they'll definitely want to warm up, or pregame at Beach. And yeah, we'll throw some burgers on the grill, and we'll probably even feed the coaches.
Okay, let me ask you this. What is the nearest turf to you? Is it Killdeer? What's the nearest turf field you have around you?
Oh, that'd be Dickinson State.
Okay, Dickinson.
No, I take that back. Actually, Dom, Glendive, Montana would be closer.
Really? Okay.
Glendive, Montana. Yep. So Glendive, Montana would be closer, and then Dickinson State.
Okay. What do you make of the move? I know you and I talked about this a while back, that the North Star schools needed a home. You know that league pretty well. What do you make of this move?
So I'm glad you asked, because I've been biting my tongue and everything, and it's really not my place to say just as an alum, but I love it, because the type of kids that we recruit at Mayville State And I love the kids that we recruit. We give kids a chance to continue their academic and athletic career. And I feel that if we went to D3, we'd have to restructure our whole recruiting model and everything. And I don't know if we could do that. I'm not saying we couldn't. Now, as far as getting things done, as I understand it, the big hangup was basketball. The Frontier wanted us because they wanted to not have to play each other 5 times in basketball or whatever. And then we're like, well, those are long trips. But like Coach Stanton from Dickinson State and I say, because we're way out in the boonies, hey, man, the road goes both ways. So when, we drive, Mayville State drives to Butte, guess what? Butte's got to drive to Mayville State.
Yep.
So I love it. And then like you said, and you did a really good job on your show, Dom, pointing out how important the divisions is, right, for football. Because, come on, I mean, we can't go to Arizona and Oregon, every year, and they can't come to Mayville. So, and Dom, I think I was talking to Coach Stanton about this. I think with the crossover games, I think the league gets at least 3 teams, if not 4, into the NAIA football
no kidding,
playoffs.
Really.
And the basketball, the Frontier schools are really good, and we're pretty dang good too.
Yep.
I mean, I think you're looking at 4 or 5 teams on a good year there too. So, I mean, I think it's a win-win.
People know Mike Carroll College. Who else in that league is really good in football, from what you know?
So Montana Tech, Dickinson State beat them in the first round. They got a really good coach. And then out in Dillon, Western Montana's done really good too. One of the teams that's kind of, I don't like to say down, but, would be Montana State Northern out of Havre. But the interesting part about that is they beat my Commons pretty good last year, so, I mean, Mayville State's got to, they got to pick some things up and get a little bit better. But another thing, Dom, that like you pointed out, they can get 3 non-conference games.
Yep.
But the important thing, the number one thing, Dom, the whole question here is we can still play Valley City State in our rivalry game and basketball, everything. And then the second thing is baseball. Baseball is important to us Mayville State guys, and softball. So now we got that league. We'll have an automatic qualifier. We still probably can't beat Bellevue, but that's okay. We'll work on it. So those are the important things to me.
I know also important to you is we are under 100 days out from the kickoff of the FCS season. Clifton McDowell made some headlines. Did you see what he said about if he didn't get hurt, that Montana would have beaten the Jackrabbits in that game? Do you agree with that assessment that he made?
I do not.
Yeah.
I think that the Grizzlies played well. They got really hot. I think Junior Burgum carried them to the championship with special teams and stuff, and you need that.
Yep.
I love my Grizzlies, and I mean, I just don't think they could run the ball efficiently enough, even with Clifton apparently, who was not healthy. But maybe if I will say this though, maybe if they would have scored that touchdown, that they got denied and they won, whatever, maybe that changes.
It's a different
things.
game.
You don't know.
Yep.
Different game. Maybe keep it close. Because their defense was playing well.
Yep.
And but no, I don't know. Dom, that's an interesting thing. Like Clifton, cheer the guy on. He's at a new school, and then he tweets out a picture of his Big Sky Newcomer of the Year award. And I'm like, do you hang that in your locker room at your new school or what? I don't know. It's a crazy world,
I do not know your schedule by heart, so I apologize. But your Grizzlies are in Grand Forks the second week. Are you making a trip to Grand Forks to see the game? Where are you guys at that Friday?
Let's see. I think we're on the road, so
okay.
That's going to make it kind of tough. But I might make it up there. We'll see, because it's a night game, Dom.
It is.
So
6 o'clock Central.
I can just drive all day Saturday and get there and and then just stay Saturday night. So that'll be a tough game. People don't give UND credit. Coach Weigert and his staff have had a lot of goofy stuff happen this spring, but they built a good program there, and people just need to get over it, that they're a good football team.
I always appreciate you coming on. I got an email saying we love having the coach from Beach on. He's got to be a regular. So I don't know if you want to work with your agent about that, if we can do that, and then we'll make that happen. Okay.
Well, if you keep wearing Beach Buccaneer colors, if you're a hot mic,
there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I mean, you got your New York collar going, but that's okay. So, yeah, whenever you need Dom, and if I'm available, I'll be on.
I appreciate it. Stay dry out there. Good luck and have a great summer. We'll talk soon, all right?
All right. Thanks, Dom.
Mike Zier, head coach of the Beach Buccaneers, both the track and football teams, as the state track meet hits day 2, hopefully getting started about 1 o'clock today. We'll have a full update on that both on our news tonight, and we'll be out there for full coverage tomorrow on the final day of the meet. We'll break. We'll get into the NCAA court case that's been resolved about paying players and what it means. A couple of emails on that as well. We'll roll on a Friday morning. Back after this.